Hey, you're a cocoon master, right? What do you say to a quick little duel? What? You're no fun. Don't you know who I am? Ha! I can't believe it! I am the strongest, most handsome guy in the forest. I go by many names, such as Birdman. After all, I am the legendary man of the Dragonfly Forest. It's hard being so famous. Call me Kikinak. Of course, that's only if you can defeat me. Well, that's all for introductions. Here we go! Wow! You are so powerful! I've heard the rumors, but Cocoon Masters really are powerful. So, you're from Cyrus, huh? Well, now I've met two. If there's anything I can do for you, just ask me. From now on, we're friends. Calabash? Oh, you mean this powder? My friend Yamu from the Spider Forest gave it to me. The only thing you'll find here in the Dragonfly Forest is sleep spores. If you want some calabash, why not go talk to Yamu? Yamu and his family are very fond of rare and unusual things. So if you give them something valuable, just maybe... But I warn you, they're very greedy and won't share with you so easy. Oh yes, you can have this too. Without it, you can't get inside. What? You haven't heard of him? Well, that's odd. My young friend was bragging so much. You don't know who it is? His name is Kelmar. He is strong, you know. He's my best friend. What? You're friends with him too? Oh, so it's you, the Cocoon Master he was talking about. Hey! Well now, it's a small world indeed. Kelmar has told me a lot about you. He said, no one is stronger than me, but strength does not make a powerful man. Strength alone is no match for what he has. Speaking of which, the power of man is so complicated. I just don't get it. Leaving already? Well, take this. It's proof of our friendship. Don't worry, you can have it. We'll be able to meet anytime you use it. I'll tell you about myself next time we meet. Well, see you later.
The unforgiving, the greedy, and at times like a child.
Well? Did you meet the Birdman? So, this powder is ground from the leaves of the calabash? We must go report this to the chieftain at once. Although this confirms the existence of the calabash, this is not enough to save the entire village. You have no choice but believe what the Birdman said and venture into the Spider Forest. There are many types of divine spirits. Know you that some can be quite malicious. If we can believe Kikinak, then it is true that the forest man has become the fallen spirit Mamon, as told in Nagi legend. Mamon was an agent of Elrum, who drowned in material greed. This so angered Elrum that he punished Mamon by transforming him into a hideous form. It is said that Mamon was commanded to live the rest of his existence as the keeper of the divine tree. If Kikinak is the divine spirit Amos, who indulged in lust, then Yamu, the forest man, must be the divine spirit Mamon, who indulged in greed. Perhaps there is more about Yamu in the folktales of Cyrus. The old gravekeeper Poto may know something. Why not ask him about the folktales? You must go to the spider forest and find Yamu, the forest man. Much treachery lies ahead in the spider forest. Tread carefully.
It's good, buying better weapons. But don't you get carried away. The weapon of the Cocoon Master ain't the sword. It's the power of your flute, right? That's what Raquette's always said.
You've come back, I see. Is everything all right at home? I heard about those awful rumors going around at the silk mill. They say Fio and Mabu aren't getting along. It's not true, is it? Don't you pay attention to what they say.
Hey, shush, honey. You're being rude. That's none of our business. I can't stand it when she spreads rumors like this. Oh, women.
What are you talking about? It's because you men are so undependable. You're always driving us crazy. See? Every time you open your mouth, you gotta badmouth me. Wait! I was only trying to help. Please take care of your mom and Mabu. Don't grow up to be an insensitive fool like this big guy.
Mabu! I'm afraid I haven't seen her lately. What is it? Marital problems, eh? She's always been strong-minded, more than any other child in Cyrus. This is a tale of the kingdom of Gehenna Pali that stretched across these lands long ago. Once upon a time, Prince Menek, son of King Karis, set out with his vassals to hunt in the forest. But in the forest they were enveloped by a thick fog, and the prince lost his way. Wandering aimlessly about, he happened upon a marsh from which grew an enormous tree. Thereupon he heard the sound of sobbing, but he knew not from where. He found a maiden sitting all alone. She was weeping by the marsh. "I am Alcana. I just buried my mother here in the marsh of Uban," she said. And then she looked up at the prince. He was overwhelmed by her beautiful eyes. The maiden stole his heart that day. It was truly a fateful meeting. Thereafter, the prince made frequent trips into the forest. Undoubtedly, he was paying visits to the maiden. The maiden had a strange power. She could talk to the insects and trees. Before long, there began a terrible rumor that the prince's heart had been stolen by a witch. One day the maiden spun silk from fairy cocoons and wove it into a beautiful cloth for the king. But the brilliance of that cloth cast a shadow upon the kingdom. The king was so enthralled by the fairy silk that he sent his soldiers into the forest, where they ravaged for fairy cocoons. The fairies, still in their cocoons, were boiled alive. The king killed them so he could have their silk. The prince pleaded with his father to stop his cruelty, but the king was no longer the man he had once been. Prince Menek was charged with treason and imprisoned in the king's deepest dungeon. He was never heard from again. When the maiden learned of the prince's death, she cursed her fate and lamented the foolishness of man. She then cast herself away into the marsh where her mother lay. As she started to drown, a voice from nowhere whispered to her, "I am Elram. I shall grant you your wish. Tell me what you want," said the voice. The maiden told Elram all that weighed upon her heart. The maiden said, "Greed bears destructive knowledge. Its wicked power shall be the end of the forest. All hope is lost. The beasts of knowledge shall never live in peace with the forest. The one light of hope, who I so loved, has perished at the hands of the beasts. I now go to where my love Menek awaits." Thereupon Elram spoke again. "So you claim that your true love was torn asunder by the greed and hatred of the beasts of knowledge? When light is swallowed up by darkness, I shall unleash ruin upon the land, returning all to the nothingness from whence it came. I have a firm grip upon the darkness in your heart. From that day forward, demons appeared in the forest, terrifying all they came upon. And the kingdom of Gehenna Pali fell to ruin by the swarms of Onibubu, locusts of apocalypse. The demons that haunt the forest now are the beasts spawned by the greed in man's heart." Come again any time. The wind is blowing again. It's almost as if the forest weeps. I'm afraid something terrible will happen.
Oh, you're back. So, how is your work going? Don't overdo it. Tell me if there's anything I can do for you. I was concerned about Mabu, so I've been talking with her while you were away. We talk about things like the Nagi, life, your father and me. But maybe I am just bothering her. She probably doesn't need both Garai and her mother-in-law looking over her shoulder all day long. I wanted to let her know that there are many ways to express love for another. Your father and I wanted to preserve our type of love, even if it meant breaking tradition. Don't you see? In time, perhaps you and Mabu too will understand. True purification is achieved when your two hearts come to beat as one. More than anything, I do not want your marriage to fall victim to tradition or your sense of duty. I have never told you about my last day with your father, have I? On that final evening, your father said to me, "No matter how long I uphold tradition as Cocoon Master and cure much evil in the world, I believe that true purification must also cure the one I love. If Elrum is the true God, then the answer must lie in the forest. Once there, I shall unlock the key to true purification and will then return to your side." As a Nagi, I was raised to believe that I would never have a choice in life. I accepted my fate no matter how awful it would be. But upon hearing your father's words, a sense of peace settled upon me, the likes of which I had never felt before. Right then, I felt liberated from fate and tradition. For the first time in our lives, we are doing something for just ourselves. I will never perform another purification without your father by my side. I have decided to wait for him. Perhaps you and Mabu will one day find true purification. Live for each other, not for anyone else. I hope you make the right choice. Live for each other.